And here is Goulias, filled at the LSU 46-yard line. A good sniping tackle by Johnny Sage, all-conference in the SEC. And now Notre Dame feels the pinch of losing yardage on a third down, but Coach Marsigian apparently is not going for the punt. Since his ball club has been pretty much in control here in the second quarter, he is going to leave his running unit in there, and fourth down, a yard to go, a big down for both these ball clubs here in the second quarter. 0-0 to score. Here's Theismann. Sizikowski behind him, hands the ball to Sizikowski. Doesn't make it. LSU picks over at the Tiger 46-yard line. Cassio leads the Tiger charge on the tackle. And there's no gain for Notre Dame as the Irish go for a first down on a fourth down and 1 yard, showing great confidence, but it doesn't work out. LSU, with its best field position in many minutes in the game, at its 46-yard line, has Buddy Lee back in the game at quarterback. Lee, the option, pitches out to Cantrell, sweeps to the right, to the 50, the 45. He rolls out of bounds at the Notre Dame 42-yard line. Ellis and Mike Crotty run him out of the field of play. It's 1st and 10 for LSU. Alan Shorey helps to lead the way. Bill Murray for Charles Stewart at tackle for LSU. First down, the Tigers at the Notre Dame 42. No score in this ball game. 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Barrett begins to pick up Coffey wide to the left. Hamilton to the right. Here is Lee with Shorey and Cantrell. Cantrell with the ball right up the middle to the 35-yard line. And down he goes with Tim Kelly. And Jim Wright and Mike Crotty on top of him at the Notre Dame 35-yard line. It's second down. The Tigers have Notre Dame conscious of the wide material and leaving some gaps in the middle. 4-4-3 defense for Notre Dame. Waits in the line for Notre Dame. 220, 235, 249, 235, and 3 out of the 4 men are 6'5". Here's the second down play for the Tigers. Cantrell off left guard. He bumps outside to about the 33-yard line. He'll be short of a first down by about a half yard. Rick Bowman and Eric Patton with Kadish and Patulski helping on the tackle. Third down, making about a half yard to go for a first down.
Well, a big play here. The Tigers, after holding Notre Dame on a fourth down situation, got a little momentum going here. They picked up 1 first down. This one was sure help. Less than a yard.
And the Tigers set up a wedge formation. Only wide receiver out is Coffey. He's to the left, again covered by Stepaniak. Here's Lee off to Cantrell, right guard, first down. He pile drives into the 31-yard line behind Jimmy Elkin and Jack Gilbert. Tackled by Kadish and Tim Kelly. First down LSU at the Notre Dame 31-yard line. LSU is within 1 yard of making its deepest penetration of the game. Deepest offensive penetration of the game right now for LSU. Notre Dame has been to the Tiger 4 and fumbled. No score. Here is Lee looking for somebody down the field. He hit a Notre Dame man who drops the ball, Jim Wright. Lee was trying to get the ball delivered either to Cantrell or to Hamilton. Cantrell apparently was the primary receiver, but Hamilton might have been able to work clear down deep had Lee been able to have more time to throw the ball.
Ellis was all over Hamilton, pumping him as he went down, and therefore he wasn't able to complete his pattern.
Second down, 10 LSU at the Notre Dame 31-yard line. No score, 5:52 to go in the first half. Chuck Schlock is in the game at defensive cornerback position. Lee, the option, rolls out to the right. He's down to the 27-yard line, and so gets about 4 yards on the play, crushed by Walt Patulski and Chuck Schlock. Schlock, C-L-O-C-K, and the ball is placed back at the 28-yard line. So third down and 7 yards to go. LSU at the Notre Dame 28.
Game moving right along. 5.5 minutes left to go in the half. Still no score.
And Lee calls the play. In the huddle a pretty good while. Third down and 7 at the 28-yard line. Referee has the clock on the Tigers, and here they go, and the Tigers do take too much time. 5-yard penalty against LSU will move the ball back out to the 33-yard line and bring up 12 yards to go. 3rd down and 12. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first half. LSU and Notre Dame locked in a bitter struggle here, 0-0, and they play again next year in Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge, on the campus of LSU. Coffey and Hamilton are set to the left. Eye behind Buddy Lee. Takes the ball, rolls back to throw, shoots it out here to Coffey. Incomplete. Lee overthrows him at the 23-yard line. Coffey was covered by Mike Crotty. 4th down, 12. LSU at the Notre Dame 33, and Mark Lumpkin will try a field goal. This one will be 50 yards long if he makes it good, or maybe 49 yards. Let's see where he's going to put the ball. He has the marker down at the 39-yard line, the 38-yard line, really. Now he moves it back to the 39. This will be a 49-yard field goal attempt with Lee holding. Here's the snap back, and the kick is in the air. It is short and wide to the left. Notre Dame will take over 1st and 10 at the Irish 20-yard line.
Well, the penalty, of course, took LSU out of the closer situation. They had to go to the air. Notre Dame knew it. The pass was incomplete to Coffey, and Lumpkin's field goal attempt was quite short. So the Irish have the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 20.
Irish in possession again. Joe Theismann has Bill Bars at fullback behind him again. Here's Theismann rolling to the right, looking for a receiver. Has Gatewood out of bounds at the 29-yard line, and he gains 9 on the reception. Well, Gatewood has all the moves, and we can easily see why he has caught 63 passes this year and gained 974 yards coming into the game. 2nd down, 1 yard to go. Notre Dame at its 29-yard line. No score in the game. We have 4:33 remaining in the first half. Creaney on the left side. Gatewood to the right. Handoff goes to Gulius. Really cracked down, muscle tackle by Richard Piku at the 30-yard line. He may have enough for a 1st down, though. But a good bone-crushing job on the tackle of Gulius by Richard Piku, who's done an outstanding job defensively so far in the game. 1st down, Notre Dame at its 30.
We have the Irish gaining only 8 yards on the ground thus far in the ball game.
Nagel in for Early, who comes off the near side to get off the field. Here's Theismann going back to throw, looking for Gatewood. He has it, tackled by Casanova at the 38-yard line. Simple out pattern in front of the defensive back on the play, Tommy Casanova, who today seems to be going everywhere Tommy Gatewood goes. 2nd down, about 2 to go for a 1st down. Notre Dame at its 38. Tigers have Lloyd Fry for Bill Northworthy in the game, an extra linebacker, of course. 2nd down and 2. Here's the tailback Gulius, right through for a 1st down, but not too much to spare. He stopped at the 42-yard line on a thrust right through the middle, and Espay and Piku on the tackle for LSU. Notre Dame reels off a couple of firsts and running up to the Notre Dame 42-yard line. The drive so far is good for 22 yards. Tackles for Notre Dame, John Dampier and John Kundrick. The latter weighs 250, the former 235. Here is Theismann faking the handoff to the fullback. Pass down the middle is incomplete. Touched by Bill Northworthy of LSU and almost intercepted by Mike Anderson. The pass was intended for the tight end Mike Creaney right down the middle of the secondary, about 10 or 12 yards down the field.
3 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the half. Theismann has now completed 8 of 14 for 105 yards. Notre Dame on the ground has gained 11.
Darrell Dewan in the ball game is wide to the right. Bars and Gulius behind Theismann. Here's Theismann right back through the backfield man and goes back to throw, shoots it off to the right. It is to Gatewood. He has the ball at the 47-yard line, and is he in possession or not? Out of bounds. Incomplete. He had the ball on the near side, but incomplete. 3rd down and 10 for Notre Dame. The Irish at their 42-yard line. The Tigers on the defense. No score in the game. Notre Dame got to the 4-yard line, gave up the ball on a fumble. LSU has recovered 2 fumbles in the game, and Notre Dame has 1 pass interception. Here is Theismann. Again from the eye, rolls back about 10 or 12 yards, shoots a pass up the field. It's complete to the 1 at the LSU 45. And he has 2 or 3 more yards with Burns hanging on. First down, Notre Dame. And again, the 3rd down conversion. First down, Notre Dame at the LSU 42. Big play for the Irish right there. As the Tigers were rushing Theismann, and he rifled a good shot down the field, complete to the 1. Number 10, he's off to the right side here. Gulius is in the slot to the left, double wing therefore. And Theismann goes back to throw, shoots a swing pass, screen pass to the 1, has it, and he's knocked down at the 45-yard line, loses about 2 or 3 yards on the play. Anderson cracked him around the knee at the 48, and the 1 through the air was able to swim for about 2 or 3 yards to the 45. So second down and 13 yards to go. Fry for Piku for LSU and linebacker. LSU has Arthur Davis, Ronnie Estee, Johnny Sage, and Buddy Milliken on the line. Fry, Cascio, and Anderson up on the line almost as Theismann again goes back to throw. Underthrows. Open fullback Bill Bars in the flat. And the Tigers here jump over a big snake. Third down and 13. And here, Walter, we come up again for a Notre Dame big play time because the Irish have been able to come up with the big plays on third down many times here in the first half. 2:09 remaining in the first half. 0-0 to score LSU and Notre Dame here at South Bend. And Theismann has 1 remaining back, goes back behind him. That's Bars to throw a pass, shoots it down the field. It is incomplete. Broken up by Tommy Casanova down at the 30-yard line, intended for Tommy Gatewood.
Casanova gave Gatewood a real good bump. He was Theismann's primary receiver, but he threw the rhythm of the pattern off. He had to go high to him, and of course it was incomplete, and the Tigers will now get the football as Notre Dame will be forced to kick.
Good rush on the preceding play by Johnny Sage and Ronnie Estee. Casanova and Craig Burns back at the Tiger 10 waiting for the punt from Jim Yoder. He will be into the wind with it. Point of the down, the LSU 45-yard line, and here is the kick. It is going, and he really put the foot in it. It's bouncing way down at the back of the end zone. A touchback. LSU has the ball, 1st and 10 on the Tiger 20-yard line. No score in the game, 1:55 to go in the first half, and the people watching this ball game are being treated to an outstanding duel. Notre Dame has had the better of the going so far offensively, and LSU has been hanging on tenaciously in the game. Tigers 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line and ready to go. Quarterback will be Buddy Lee. Has Hamilton to the right side and Gerald Kegley to the right side and takes the ball, hands off to Danton on a crossbuck outside, comes to the 25, crawls up to the 26-yard line after bouncing off 3 tacklers for Notre Dame. It was finally Mike Crotty who polished him off at the 26. Tigers have Danton and Shorey behind Buddy Lee again. 2nd down and 4 yards to go at the LSU 26. Here's a handoff coming to Shorey. Really hangs onto the ball up to about the 29-yard line. Now the Tigers are faced with a 3rd down and 1. Mike Kadish and Bob Neidert are shoulder to shoulder against Alan Shorey on the tackle.
1 minute and 10 seconds left to go in the first half. LSU's got players coming in and out. They have not called but 1 timeout.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. LSU at its 29-yard line. Again, the Tigers take a long time in the huddle. Hamilton is on the line to the left side, covered by Clarence Ellis. Here is Lee, and an end around as Hamilton gets the ball wide to the right side. He goes, cuts in to a tackler, and that is Walt Patulski who makes the tackle way behind the line. At about the 25-yard line, Hamilton tried to get Patulski to commit himself to the outside, and Patulski would not do so, so Hamilton just ran right into him. Notre Dame calls timeout with 35 seconds to go in the first half. Point of the down back at the 24-yard line, so there's a timeout on the field with the score, LSU nothing and Notre Dame nothing.
No, there are 5. Yes, now there are 5 locations for banking at Citizens Bank and Trust Company. There's the main office, 203 West 2nd Street in Thibodaux. There's the city branch on the Lambertville Highway and Hickory Street in Thibodaux. There's the Cutoff branch in Cutoff and the Galliano branch in Galliano. And now there's number 5, the Citizens Bank and Trust Company Check Bay branch. Yes, 5 banking locations to serve you from Citizens Bank and Trust Company, a full-service bank. And at all locations, there's plenty of free parking. And in addition, there's drive-up window service at all the Citizens Bank locations. Your money is protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation at Citizens Bank and Trust Company. And you enjoy both tops in service and the utmost inconvenience. That's Citizens Bank and Trust Company, your full-service bank, now with 5 locations to serve you. Citizens Bank and Trust Company of Thibodaux, your full-service bank for Lafourche Parish.
10 to go at their 30-yard line. Besselman makes the illegal touch. 46 yards for Dickinson. 23 seconds to go in the first half, and we can now look for the long passes from Joe Theismann. It was Bob Neidert who almost blocked the kick down deep. Theismann, 108 completions out of 180 tries this year for 1,754 yards, and he now has 23 seconds to see if he can move the Irish in. And he fakes the handoff and shoots a screen pass to Gatewood. He's bottled up behind the line at the 26-yard line. And so the long pass on this play, at least, does not materialize. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Mike Doyle makes the tackle for LSU on the play, and the Irish again call timeout. Timeout on the field, the score. LSU nothing, Notre Dame nothing. And say fans, wow.
Leon Knockhead and Sons, Pioneer Electrical Contractors, are proud to salute the LSU Tigers as they battle the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Leon Knockhead and Son, like the Tigers, have an outstanding record of service to the area. For years, Leon Knockhead and Son have been leaders in the electrical contracting field, as the LSU Tigers have been leaders in collegiate football. As they salute the LSU Tigers, Leon Knockhead and Son also thank the many friends they have made over the years, which has made them number 1 in their field. Leon Knockhead and Son, Pioneer Electrical Contractors.
8 seconds left to go in the half. And here come the Fighting Irish.
Theismann has bars behind him, and also Larry Parker, who's just come in at tailback. And the quarterback sneaks straight ahead as Theismann is running out the clock up to his 34-yard line. He's tackled by John Weinstein. And Notre Dame calls timeout again with 1 second left this time. Well, I wouldn't be exactly sure about the strategy on that particular play as Theismann ran a quarterback sneak. Perhaps he was expecting that the middle of the field would be open on him. Now he has 3rd down and 6 yards to go at the Notre Dame 34-yard line. 1 second left and time for one play. Theismann has the Irish up to the line of scrimmage. Over the ball, Dan Novikov. Eye behind Theismann, and he does go back, but hands the ball off to Parker. Here's Parker up to about the 45-yard line, about the 47-yard line, and he's tackled hard by Weinstein and Bill Norsworthy. Parker didn't like it, but nevertheless, he was tackled. The teams break for the dressing rooms, and the first half is over. The score is LSU nothing and Notre Dame nothing. Walter Hill has halftime comments shortly.
Here's a good suggestion to make your...
You know, this area grows a little more each day. New businesses, new industry, new people, and growing with the Thibodaux-Houma area is Thompson Construction Company. Thompson Construction Company has served this area for 12 years and is happy to have been part of its progress. Thompson Construction is ready to handle any type of maintenance, construction, or repairs. Before you build or remodel, call Thompson Construction Company for a consultation. They can help you with your construction needs. Thompson Construction is happy to be bringing you these LSU Tiger games to our many friends in this area and hope that you will enjoy these games as we follow the Tigers. Remember, it's Thompson Construction Company, growing with South Louisiana. In Houma, 876-3393, and in Thibodaux, call 466-5577. Thompson Construction Company. In Houma, call 876-3393, and in Thibodaux, call 466-5577. That's Thompson Construction Company.
Battling so far to a 0-0 tie. The Tigers had poor field position several times throughout the course of the first half. unable to do anything, however, when they did get something going. They tried a field goal of 49 yards, but it was woefully short by Lumpkin. Notre Dame, trying to keep an offense going, had two downs, the second and one to go for a first down at midfield. LSU stopped them both times and took it over. Seemed as if they were on their way to try to get some points on the board, but a delay of game penalty hurt them. So it's 0-0 at halftime as the sun has broken out. Temperature about 46, 47 degrees here at South Bend, Indiana. As John said, this is a very intimate stadium. Field is very close to the edge of the stands. And as a result, of the full house, of course, there are many people lining the field on both sides as well as in the end zone. We're looking forward to a great halftime performance by the Notre Dame band. We're also looking forward to a visit with LSU Athletic Director Carl Maddox just a little bit later on. So the sun is coming out now, a fine intersectional battle between two nationally ranked teams, Notre Dame number 2 in the nation, LSU number 7. And the big question now is, will the Notre Dame weight prevail as it has in previous games this year? Notre Dame outweighs the Tigers by about 26 pounds per man. The Fighting Irish Band billed as America's first university band. And to a real fast cadence, they move out from either sideline. Irish Band is under the combined leadership of Director Robert O'Brien and Assistant Director Michael Hennessy. And the band forms a giant diamond at midfield. The theme of the Irish Band program here today will be a tribute to Louis Armstrong, the man considered to be the greatest single influence on American jazz for the past 40 years. Right now we're happy to welcome to our broadcast booth in the rather intimate quarters that we do enjoy here, LSU's athletic director, Carl Maddox. Carl, thus far, this is a terrific defensive struggle to score ought here at halftime.
Walter, both teams are playing excellent defense. Notre Dame is just a big, powerful team on defense, and they rush the passer well. Of course, we're playing very fine defense also.
Very fine defense. I haven't got the official statistics, but what I have at the half is that Notre Dame has only gotten 32 yards on the ground, and 13 of those came right as the gun went off.
Yes, I believe that, well, of course, on offense, neither team has been able to mount any real sustained drive. I think we've had a little of the best of it rushing, and they've had a little of the best of it passing. Of course, what frightens me the most about Notre Dame's attack is the scrambling and the passing from the scramble of Theismann. And what pleases me most about our offense is our offensive line is now giving our backs a little running room. Not big holes, but a little running room.
A little bit, and if you can pop, say, a Cantrell or a Danton thru, well, we might pick up some big ones. Carl, let me ask you, I've never been here to South Bend before, and we had a chance to look at this Notre Dame campus today before the ball game. It's most attractive. I think one of the real dominating structures is their athletic convocation center. This is a huge two-dome complex right across the way from us here. Let me ask you, will our assembly center offer much of the same kind of facilities?
Walter, although some of the facilities will be similar, I suspect that there are more differences than there are similarities. Notre Dame's Athletic Convocation Center is the most used multipurpose athletic complex I've ever seen on a campus. You know, it's open until midnight every night and provides recreational facilities for the entire campus as well as for the varsity sports, and it's operated by the athletic department. Now, our assembly center is really not an athletic facility per se, although it certainly will be a magnificent place to play varsity basketball in an arena seating about 14,000. And the other primary uses of our assembly center will be for staged events, ranging from the performing arts, from a proscenium stage to theater in the round to events from a platform stage with a seating capacity there of 15 to 16,000. Of course, the arena floor, and that's large enough for 3 basketball courts, will be used for various kinds of intramural play and for university registrations and for graduation exercises.
Well, let me ask you this, Carl. Who's going to operate the athletic department?
No, Walter, the facility will be operated by the university's Division of Student Services. The athletic department will be one of the many users of the facility, and we'll have some of our offices in the building, and we expect to pay rent just as other users will pay for income-producing events. In other words, we'll be a tenant, but we won't be the landlord.
Well, you know, there seems to be a rather prevalent misconception that the Assembly Center will be an athletic department project, with its use predominantly going for intercollegiate athletics. What's the story on this?
Well, that is a misconception. Varsity basketball will be given high priority in the scheduling of spaces in the building, but the building will have many, many uses which have nothing to do with athletics. And this is as it should be when appropriated funds are used for the construction. Now, all the athletic department renovation and construction projects, although most of those are multi-purpose in use also, are built with monies generated by the athletic department.
Well, we understand that the athletic department is presently planning a field house. Now, how will construction of this facility be financed?
Well, Walter, at its summer meeting, the Board of Supervisors authorized the construction of a field house with athletic department funds. No appropriated funds will be used. The estimated cost is $1.6 million. Our current fund balance allows this commitment. It will, however, reduce our balance to an amount that's less than one-half of our yearly operating budget.
Well, Carl, specifically, what facilities will be included here?
Well, first of all, it should be made clear that this building will be primarily an activity facility, not one primarily for the accommodation of spectators. It'll be a very simple structure which will place a roof over approximately 2 acres of synthetic surfacing. That's enough for 5 or 6 basketball courts and an 8-lap track, a gymnastics room, and various other exercise areas. Although the athletic department will maintain priority on the uses of the building spaces, we anticipate that for every hour of use for intercollegiate teams, it'll be used, say, 10 hours by intramural sports and maybe 20 hours for unstructured leisure time recreation. You know, Walter, we have the same number of basketball courts on campus today that we had when the campus was first built. 1. So a place to play basketball will be the one single most dramatic contribution that the athletic department can make to our male student body.
Well, it's good to know that these things are in the offing, and of course with the enrollment of the student body going up each year and more activity being focused on intramural sports, they really need some place to play.
No doubt about that. Now, if we can just win this ball game, then things will be looking rosy.
Carl, we commented that this is a very intimate stadium here. It's all brick. It's one of the first enclosed stadiums in the country, and our radio facilities are rather intimate up here, too.
Yes, they are, Walter. I'd say these are rather close quarters.
Carl, thank you for coming by. We always enjoy chatting with you and getting the latest on what the athletic department at the university is doing. Thank you so much.
All right, Walter.
Good, thank you. We're at halftime. LSU, Notre Dame, 0-0 tie. And here's the Notre Dame band. Notre Dame band in concert formation, and the great Saints go marching in. Right now, the folks here are extending their thanks to the men of the band who are completing their senior year. And right now, here's the Notre Dame alma mater, Notre Dame, our mother. Now the band is broken from their concert formation to form a giant shamrock. And here's the famed Notre Dame Victory March. Right now, the seniors of this Notre Dame band are stepping forward to the near sideline. And they are being honored here for their work with the band for the past 4 years. Now, Notre Dame, our mother. We'll have more halftime coming shortly, and now a word from all our stations.
You know, this area grows a little more each day. New business, new industry, new people, and growing with the Thibodaux-Houma area is Thompson Construction Company. Thompson Construction Company has served this area for 12 years and is happy to have been part of its progress. Thompson Construction is ready to handle any type of maintenance, construction, or repairs. Before you build or remodel, call Thompson Construction Company for a consultation. They can help you with your construction needs. Thompson Construction is happy to be bringing these LSU Tiger games to our many friends in this area, and hope that you will enjoy these games as we follow the Tigers. Remember, it's Thompson Construction Company growing with South Louisiana. In Houma, call 876-3393, and in Thibodaux, call 466-5577. Thompson Construction Company. In Houma, call 876-3393, and in Thibodaux, call 466-5577. That's Thompson Construction Company.
Fine performance by the Notre Dame band. Here's a halftime score. Ohio State 10, Michigan 3 at the half. Our game at the half, LSU nothing, Notre Dame nothing. Here are the official halftime statistics. As far as first downs are concerned, LSU has picked up 6, Notre Dame has gotten 8. Rushing yardage net, LSU 55 yards, Notre Dame 29. Through the air, LSU has completed 4 of 8 passes with 1 interception for 68 yards. Notre Dame, meanwhile, has completed 11 of 20, no interceptions for 122 yards. So LSU has a total offense of 123 yards, while Notre Dame has a total offensive count of 151, well below their average. As far as punts are concerned, LSU has punted 7 times for a 36-yard average, while Notre Dame has punted 5 times for 42 yards. Notre Dame has lost 2 fumbles. LSU has not lost any. As far as yards penalized, the Tigers have been penalized 14 yards, Notre Dame none. Individually speaking, for LSU, Art Cantrell has carried the ball 14 times, gained 53 yards. Chris Stanton has carried 5 times for 15 yards. Theismann has carried the ball 4 times for a -7 yards. Dewan has carried 5 times for -1. Gulius 6 times for 20 yards, and Parker once for 14. Lee has completed 2 of 5 for 51 yards. Jones 2 of 3 for 17, and of course Theismann's gone all the way at quarterback for Notre Dame. The leading receiver for the Irish, obviously Tom Gatewood. He's caught 4 passes for 21 yards, although Dewan has caught also 4 for 51 yards. Greeny's caught 1 for 34, Gulius 1 for 7. Andy Hamilton has caught 3 for 62, Michelson 1 for 6 yards. Of course, Dickinson's done all the punting for the Tigers, while Yoder has done all the punting for Notre Dame. There is a large corridor of students here at Notre Dame waiting to welcome the Irish when they come back out onto the playing field for the start of the second half. And now the big question is, as far as Tiger fans are concerned, is can the Tigers hold Notre Dame in the fourth quarter? It's been very difficult for other teams to do so. Georgia Tech finally was worn down last week in the fourth quarter, and the Irish went on to win it by a score of 10-7. The Tiger defenses have done a tremendous job against Notre Dame thus far in the ball game. Coming in to this contest, Notre Dame led the nation as far as total offense is concerned, having averaged 540 yards a game. The Irish ranked 5th in total defense, allowing only 206 yards a game. LSU, meanwhile, was 43rd in total offense in the nation, averaging right under 350 yards a game. They ranked 10th in the nation in total defense, giving up only 244 yards a game. Obviously, the Tigers were first in the nation on the ground as far as defense against rushing is concerned, allowing only 46 yards a game. Here comes the Fighting Irish. They run the gauntlet of the student body, and it stretches from the chute in the north end of the stadium all the way down to the bench. Right behind them, LSU getting ready to come out onto the playing field. A highly partisan crowd, obviously, but nonetheless, there are about 5,000 or 6,000 LSU fans here. Across the way, they'll get a good cheer. Here come the Tigers. Right now, we'll tell you, this is the LSU Football Network. Get set for the second half kickoff.
You know, this area grows a little more each day. New business, new industry, new people, and growing with the Thibodaux-Houma area is Thompson Construction Company. Thompson Construction Company has served this area for 12 years and is happy to have been part of its progress. Thompson Construction is ready to handle any type of maintenance, construction, or repairs. Before you build or remodel, call Thompson Construction Company for a consultation. They can help you with your construction needs. Thompson Construction is happy to be bringing you the LSU Tiger games and hopes that their many friends enjoy it. And hope that you will enjoy these games and follow the Tigers. Remember, it's Thompson Construction Company growing with South Louisiana. In Houma, call 876-3393, or in Thibodaux, call 466-5577. That's Thompson Construction Company in Houma, 876-3393, and in Thibodaux, call 466-5577. Thompson Construction Company.
To start the second half, LSU will kick off. They will defend the south goal, taking advantage of the wind. Notre Dame will receive and defend the north goal. Tim Kelly and Gary Koss of Notre Dame met with LSU's Johnny Sage at halftime. Rather at midfield at the end of the half here, and the decision was then made. LSU won the toss to start the game, elected at that time to receive, so the option to start the second half rests with the Fighting Irish. 0-0 is the score as Mark Lumpkin tees the ball up at the South 40. Once again, to call the play-by-play, here's John Ferguson.
Deep for Notre Dame are Darrell Dewan and Larry Parker on the goal line. Kicking off will be Mark Lumpkin. He has the ball in the tee at the 40-yard line, an X mark on the 40. Sun is shining brightly now, temperature just below 50 degrees. The wind keeping up from the south at about 15 miles an hour, and in this quarter, LSU will have the advantage of the wind. Tigers defense and the Notre Dame defense, both of them working beautifully in the game. The kickoff goes down to Dewan at the 11. He hustles back up to the 25 and is tracked down by Mike Doyle and Boyd Fry at the 31-yard line, coming right up the middle of the playing field. So Notre Dame, first down and 10 yards to go at the Irish 31-yard line. So far, at least, a big defensive battle here in South Bend, Indiana. And another game up in this section. Ohio State leads Michigan 10-3. Now Theismann takes the ball. Irish expected to come out throwing. A flag is thrown as Theismann shoots it up the field. It is knocked down by Casanova, intended for Tommy Gatewood, on a real fly working down the far sideline inside the 40-yard line. But a flag has been thrown. The pass is incomplete. And so we have either an illegal shift or illegal use of hands on the offense by Notre Dame, and the Irish will be penalized. Freeney was the offender in the game for Notre Dame. That pass way down the field, by the way, was right on the button by Theismann. So was Casanova on Gatewood. That's a great battle between those two fine players. The penalty moves Notre Dame back to the Irish 13-yard line, and from there it is first down and very long yardage to go. 28, in fact. And now Gatewood is along the left side. Julius is flanked beyond him. Freeney is flexed a little bit, and here's Theismann rolling out to the far side. He'll run with the football, and the Northworthy draws a bead on him, hits him first, and then four other Tigers get in on the contact, and they are Craig Burns, Tommy Smith, and Ronnie Estee. Theismann gets not very much yardage on the play, up to about the 19. And it's second down, 22 yards to go for a first down. Nothing to nothing. The Tigers and the Irish here at Notre Dame. We've seen representatives of the Liberty Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, and the Orange Bowl here in the press box today. Theismann going back to throw on second and 28. Has time, shoots it up the field to Gatewood, makes a dive for it at the 31-yard line, and it's incomplete. One official says it is complete, and one in front of the play said no, incomplete. And now we have still another official saying that it is complete. Now the referee is the man who's going to be consulted. We have conflicting ideas and ruling, and it's going to be third down and 22 yards to go. The umpire on the play ruled it complete. The field judge said incomplete, and the back judge said complete. The referee said incomplete, and it's third down and 22.
Almost like a League of Nations debate down there.
Well, that carries you back a while. Theismann at quarterback, with Bars and Julius behind him, goes back to throw, being chased, and he's hit back there by Milliken inside the 15-yard line. Theismann is really thumped hard at the 12-yard line. Johnny Sage also back there, and Arthur Davis. So now the Irish find out what it's like to be backed up deep, and it's fourth down at the 12. 29 yards to go for a first down, and in the front will be Jim Yoder. Tiger receivers at the Notre Dame 45 are Tommy Casanova and Craig Burns. Burns broke one all the way back last week against State. And here is Yoder's kick. And the flag is thrown as Milliken bucks into the kicker. Here's a handoff from Casanova to Burns. Burns comes to the near side, eludes one player, cuts back. He's up to the 35. Freeney knocks him down at the 35-yard line. Buddy Milliken tracks into Jim Yoder. And so a flag is down, and Notre Dame will have the option of taking a 15-yard penalty from back there. Still, it would not be a first down, or giving LSU the football at the Tiger 35. And Notre Dame is going to rule that the ball will be put in play by LSU at the 35, apparently. No, they're still discussing it. Buddy Milliken was blocked as he went up trying to block the kick, and he fell into Yoder, the kicker, and the flag came down from the referee. Now Notre Dame wants to come over and talk to the coach. Give the ball to LSU, says Barthigian, at the LSU 35-yard line. And so the Tigers of LSU will have it. Buddy Lee will come in at quarterback for LSU. He'll have Gerald Kigley and Del Walker and Andy Hamilton back there with him. And Arthur Cantrell. Notre Dame setting up a 4-4-3, and the deep three are Mike Crotty, Ralph Stepaniak, the latter with 5 interceptions, and Clarence Ellis, who has 7. Stepaniak is on the near side. The ball is at the 35-yard line in LSU territory. Tigers have it, first down and 10 to go. Wide to the right, Kegley and Hamilton. Lee to Cantrell, right up the middle to the 40, the 45, the 50, the 49-yard line in Notre Dame territory. Kelly and Mike Crotty hang on as Cantrell breaks it right up the middle, romps for 16 yards, and LSU first down and 10 yards to go. Gobert, Elkins, Damari, Stewart, Alexander in the line. With Michelson, tight end, who's out of a triple I and sets himself on the right side. 4-4-3, standard set defensively, and a handoff goes to Walker, and he shoots into right guard to the 46. Mike Kadish and Greg Marks on the stop there for Notre Dame, and he will get credit for 3 yards on the carry. It'll be second down and 7 yards to go for LSU. Kavanaugh for Michelson, tight end LSU. No score. We're about 2.5 minutes deep in the third quarter here at Notre Dame. LSU and Notre Dame in a big defensive battle of football giants of 1970. Again, to the wide side of the field, the right, Hamilton and Kegley go. Buddy Lee of Zachary Sr. goes back to throw. He's being chased back there, and he won't get it away. He's losing big yardage to the LSU 45. Linebacker Eric Patton shot the gap, and Bob Neidert, defensive right end, also belted through and leaves down for a loss back to the 45-yard line. Loss of about 10 yards on the play, almost. Third down, 16 yards to go. LSU back at its 45-yard line. Offensive line for LSU has been having a tough time handling that defensive front four for Notre Dame. Now it's a 5-man front. One of the linebackers up on the line, that's Stoneman. Here Lee with plenty of time this time to throw. Shoots it down there to Kegley. Wide of the mark, and Kegley was open at the 30-yard line. Clarence Ellis covering, and Lee may not have been trying to get the ball to Kegley at all. He might have been trying to throw to Hamilton, but Hamilton was on the floor of the stadium about 7 or 8 yards up the field. Fourth down, 16, LSU at its 45, and Wayne Dickinson in to punt. 38-yard average. And a quick snap from center. Dickinson boots the ball down the field. It goes to Crotty at the Notre Dame 20, and he's knocked off his feet by Kegley at the 30-yard line. On the near side hash mark is where the ball will be placed. Notre Dame has the ball at its 30. First down and 10 to go. 36 yards this time for Dickinson. Tommy Smith in the game. John Nagel in the game. Otherwise, the first unit defensively for LSU. And here is Theismann handing off to Gulius. Weak side play to the near side. And he's knocked down at the line of scrimmage, +1. At the 31 is where they'll put the ball. Mike Doyle and Mike Anderson and John Nagel and John Weinstein really following hard on the heels of the play. And Gulius on a power play to the weak side, the right, in this particular case, gets 1 yard. Second down and 9 at the 31-yard line. Denny Allen in the game now for Notre Dame. He is at a halfback and comes lined up to the right side of the formation in a slot. Double wing as another flanker goes left. Theismann back to throw. Hit again! This time by Bobby Joe King back at the 21-yard line. The Tiger defenders are looping around the blockers now and seem to be getting to the passer in his area more quickly. And twice in this quarter, Theismann has gone down. This, they say, at the 22-yard line. It will be third down and 18 yards to go for Notre Dame. No score, 10-15 to go in the third quarter. LSU and Notre Dame in a bitter struggle here on the campus of Notre Dame University in South Bend, Indiana. Theismann again back to throw on 3rd and 18, being chased back there, and he's going to be hit hard. No, he squirms out. He's hit hard. He fumbles. LSU scrambles. LSU does not get the ball. Notre Dame recovers after 3 Tigers got their hands all over it. Notre Dame recovers the fumble at the Irish 28-yard line, but Anderson and Bobby Joe King were 2 of those who got their hands on the ball, and it just squirted out of their fingers. Notre Dame has 4th down and 12. Jim Yoder in the punt. Last time he was fouled by Buddy Milliken. Casanova and Burns deep for the Tigers. No rush. He gets off a bad kick. It's coming off to the right side, bouncing around midfield. At the LSU 49 is where the ball is touched. And it's 1st down and 10 to go for LSU at the Tiger 49-yard line. 23 yards on the kick. Gary Koss touched it illegally, and so it's 1st down for LSU at the Tiger 49-yard line. That would have been the 3rd fumble recovery of the day had the LSU Tigers been able to hold it. Al Coffey in the game at wide receiver, covered by Ellis, wide to the right side. And Kelly is on Hamilton, who's also out there. Here's Lee off to Cantrell. He thrusts himself right straight ahead for about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the Notre Dame 48. Mike Kadish and Eric Patton, 249 and 220 pounds, make the tackle. 2nd down, 7 to go at the Notre Dame 48-yard line on the near hash mark, wide side of the field to the right. LSU in the 3rd quarter here, tied up with Notre Dame, 0-0 in a real bitter struggle that is gaining momentum all the time, and a lot of hard cracking is in progress. Here's the option. Lee pitching out to Coffey, wide to the right side, chased down by Patowski and caught by him. Walt Patowski runs down Al Coffey, and that's some doings, and twice on a sweep around the right side, once on an end around, and this time on a split back run to the right side, a quick shot to the right. To Coffey, Patowski runs both ball players down, and he stands 6'5" and weighs 235. 3rd and 15. Ball is back at the LSU 44-yard line. Al Coffey double covered on the near side. Cantrell in the slot to the left, and here's Lee back to throw on 3rd and 15. He's ready to shoot it. No, he's going to run it. He's being chased down and hit back at his 37-yard line. He just wouldn't let it go. Greg March back there to hit him hard. And Notre Dame's powerful defensive line shows its mettle again. 4th down, long yardage. Clarence Ellis and Mike Crotty back to receive an anticipated punt from Wayne Dickinson. Dickinson kicked for a 37-yard average in the first half, and here is the snap back to him, and he boots it. The wind gets it, carries it. Ellis receives back at his 17. He comes to the near side, trying to dart through people. He's knocked off his feet shy of the Notre Dame 25. And we see Besselman and Mike Damari and Stewart, Charles Stewart. 46 yards on the kick and a short return. The ball is going to be put at the Notre Dame 25-yard line. Theismann has Mike Creaney, tight end to the left, and Tom Gatewood, split end, wide to the right, and Theismann goes back to cock the arm. He pulls the string on a quick one. Intercepted and dropped. Tommy Smith had his hands all over it, and as he went down to the ground, he hit his midsection on the turf, and there went the ball. 2nd down and 10. At the 25-yard line, Notre Dame, 2nd down and 10 yards to go. 3rd quarter, no score, 7:12 remaining in this period. Mike Creaney again goes left, along with Ed Gulius. Tom Gatewood, premier receiver, is to the right and up on the line. Bars is behind the quarterback. Pitch out, however, goes to Allen, way around the left side, and the Tigers stop him at the line of scrimmage. North where they first, then John Wood, and then Mike Doyle. At the line of scrimmage, there's no gain, 3rd down and 10. Notre Dame does not, here in the 3rd quarter, as yet, show the type of spirit offensively the Irish had in the first half, although that could be a way of waltzing the Tigers to sleep. Let's see how things happen as Allen comes to the right side. Gulius is now the tailback. Theismann fakes to him, goes back to throw. He's being chased back there, and Bobby Joe King has him at the 22. He fumbles, scramble, but the ball is down at the 22-yard line. And in Notre Dame's possession. Bobby Joe King showed great speed, and we've had a multitude of very quick and speedy defensive linemen to show in this ball game today.
The Tiger defense is playing inspired football. They really are. Notre Dame came into this ball game the number one total offensive team in the country. On the ground, they've only gained 24 through the air 122, and now they got to kick it again.
And Casanova and Burns are at the Tiger 40 waiting for Jim Yoder's kick. Let's see if the Tigers try to block it. And there's no rush on the kicker. He boots it away, and it's a good kick. It's going to Burns, who backs up for it. The ball is bouncing to Burns at his 28. He's retreating to the 25, comes back up to the 30. Here he comes to the near side to the 35, and down he goes. He's spilled by Denny Allen. And Burns has the quick eyes and the feet to try to get him into open places, and he almost was able to break clean for a lot of yardage on this play. LSU 1st and 10. On the exchange of kicks, there's no yardage lost and none gained. First down, LSU at the Tiger 35-yard line. Quarterback still Buddy Lee. Jay Michelson on the right side, and eye behind Lee. Lee pitching back to Paul Lyons, and a tailback. He shoots a pass up the field, intercepted by number 40, Jim Wright. Just beyond midfield as the Tigers try a tailback pass, and Notre Dame gets the break the Irish have been looking for at the Notre Dame 48-yard line. Second interception of this ball game by Notre Dame. No score in the contest. 5:30 to go in quarter number 3. Theismann has Freeney tight end to the left, and Tom Gatewood in the slot to the right, and up on the line is Denny Allen. Here's Theismann going back to throw, looking for a big play. He shoots it out here, incomplete. While the players get ready for the next play, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the LSU Football Network.
You're in tune to KTIB-FM, Thibodaux, Louisiana, 106.3 on your dial.
John Ferguson with Walter Hill at South Bend. Notre Dame has second down and 10 at its 48-yard line. No score in the game, third quarter, with 5:24 remaining in the period. Strong side right, but a double wing set up by Notre Dame. Theismann again going back to pass. He shoots it up the field. It is incomplete. Mike Creaney was the intended receiver. He ran over the official, the umpire on the play, and was tackled very, very hard, simultaneous with his attempted catch by Anderson and Bill Norsworthy. Cascio for Tommy Smith at linebacker for LSU. Third down and 10 for Notre Dame. The Irish at their 48-yard line. No score in the third quarter. No score in the ball game. Notre Dame in the middle of the playing field with, again, a double wing. Gulius wide to the left, and Gatewood along with Allen to the right, and here's Theismann. Plenty of time on this play. Shoots it off to the far side. Complete to Gulius. He's met by Early and thrown out of bounds at the LSU 44-yard line. And that brings up fourth down and about 2 yards to go for a first down. Yoder comes in to punt for Notre Dame.
That was the first pass completion for Theismann in the second half.
And we have 5:11 to go in quarter number 3. LSU and Notre Dame, 0-0. Bowl scouts in the press box from the Liberty Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Cotton Bowl. We've heard all kinds of rumors about where these two teams are going. Here's Yoder, the snap from center, no rush on him, and he kicks a line drive spiral beyond the end line. And LSU will put the ball in play at the Tiger 20. And now in a couple of kicks here, LSU has lost about 20 yards.
And number 7, Bert Jones, trots onto the field to lead the Tigers at quarterback. 5:04 left in the third quarter, still no score. LSU Notre Dame in a classic defensive battle.
And two different types of defenses. Notre Dame powerful and LSU quick. Now Jones and company on the field for LSU from the Tiger 20. And he hands off to Danton. Danton stepping over people right up the middle. Little boy carries to the 31-yard line. Ralph Stepaniak and Mike Crotty make the tackle. Notre Dame, again, conscious of the wide play, allows Chris Danton, former Catholic High of Baton Rouge star, to go rambling right up the middle. And we say little. Danton weighs 184, and he's short, and is one of the smaller players on this field today. First down 10. Tigers at their 31. Two receivers to the left, Kegley and Hamilton. Jones with the strong right arm to the right side, off to Danton. Right tackle. He goes dancing out to the 40-yard line and is tackled by Ralph Stepaniak. And the Tigers begin to break some of the running plays. Second down, 1 yard to go on a couple of real good scampers totaling 20 yards for Chris Danton. Bill Murray in at tackle on that side and doing a good job of blocking. Mike Damari at right guard. And here's Hamilton to the left side, and a quarterback sneak by Jones carries for the first down. He gets about 2 yards up to the Tiger 42-yard line and muscled down by Wright, Marks, and Katie. First down, LSU, and let's take a tally on how many times the Tigers have been able to move the ball 10 yards.
That's first down, number 9 for the Tigers, as they have the ball now at their own 43.
Kegley and Hamilton to the right. Tight end Jay Michelson on the left, and here's a 6-man front set up by Notre Dame. What amounts to a 6-2-3 defense. And the option with Danton carrying over left tackle, and he bumps into his own man as he shoots himself through the air. Mike Damari was hit from behind as he was trying to block hard on number 72, Mike Kadish, and doing a very excellent job, as a matter of fact, even though Damari weighs 218 and Kadish weighs 249. Carry for about 5 yards on the play, second down and 5. Here's Bert Jones again, and everybody for Notre Dame is up on the line of scrimmage. Danton again over right guard. He splits through a small gap, comes out on the other side, and almost picks up a first down. He's at the Notre Dame 48-yard line, and the Tigers of LSU, though heavily outweighed, are now turning on some of their own power and will have a measurement for a first down. Clock stops with 2:58 remaining in quarter number 3. A scoreless duel here at South Bend, Indiana, on the campus of Notre Dame University in the shadow of the Golden Dome. And a lot of tradition is carried into football games here by the Notre Dame people, with many, many stars dating back over many, many years who played on this very field. The measurement shows not quite a first down, just a few inches remaining, and third down coming for LSU. Kadish and Marks set themselves up in the middle of the line for Notre Dame. We have Mike Zekas in there also in the middle of the line now. Tigers with third down, just inches to go for the first down. Jones, quarterback sneaking, goes to the 45, and he has the first down for LSU. Tigers at the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Now the Tigers of LSU have worked themselves into good field position at the Notre Dame 45-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. It's been a real slam-bang third quarter with the muscle being used on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And a 5-man front set up on this play by Notre Dame. Neidert on the near side. Here's Jones going to the other side. Binglis is racked up behind the line of scrimmage. From fullback, Walt Patulski, and Tim Kelly makes the tackle. Patulski is 6'5", 235-pounder, is perhaps the outstanding defensive end we've seen so far this year. Second down, loss of 2 on the play, 12 to go for LSU. Hamilton in the slot left, and Kegley is up on the line wide to the left. Each is singly covered. Ellis is on Hamilton. Crotty is on Kegley. Here's Jones shooting out here. Completes to Kegley out of bounds at the Notre Dame 35-yard line. Hamilton took Ellis deep, and Kegley cut in front of Crotty. And it's a first down play for LSU at the Notre Dame 35-yard line. Again, Jones right on the mark with the pass. And in passing, LSU 2 out of 5. Or rather, 5 out of 11. Two intercepted. Hamilton to the right side. Kegley on the left. First down LSU at the Notre Dame 35-yard line. And Jones takes the ball, gives off to the fullback Bengal as he cuts back away from what turned out to be a hole and picks up about 2 yards on the play. Greg Marks and Bob Neidert on the tackle for Notre Dame. High and low at the 33-yard line. Second down, 8 to go. LSU with Bert Jones, sophomore quarterback, at the controls. Again, Hamilton and Kegley line up together. Twin receivers to the right. Ellis and Crotty go out there with them. And single coverage will be applied, no doubt, as it develops. As Jones takes the ball, goes back to throw, has time. He shoots it to Kegley. It is incomplete. The ball sailed over Kegley's head out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Mike Crotty was covering. Kegley had cut inside him again. Third down and 8 at the Notre Dame 33-yard line. LSU's offense been steaming here from the LSU 20 down to the Notre Dame 33-yard line, but now a couple of stalls, a short 2-yard run, and an incompleted forward pass brings up third down, and a crucial 8 yards to be gained for a first down. Notre Dame sets up 5-man front again with one of the linebackers, Rick Bowman, up on the line of scrimmage. Slot formation wide to the right. Jones takes the ball, goes back to throw, won't get it away. Knocked down at the 42-yard line. Again, Walt Patowski and Tim Kelly shoot through the Tiger offensive line, and Jones goes back at the 41-yard line and is downed at that point. The Notre Dame rush was just too strong. Dickinson comes in to punt. 37 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tigers have taken the wind advantage in the third quarter, but it has not helped them a great deal. Roddy and Ellis back deep inside the 10, waiting for Dickinson's kick. It's a high snap, but boots the ball away, and it's not going to be fielded by Notre Dame. The ball bounces back into the end zone. And the Irish will have it first and 10 at their 20-yard line. 16 seconds to go in quarter number 3. No score in the game. LSU and Notre Dame at South Bend.
16 seconds in the third quarter, and this was coming right down the line. The Tigers controlled the football quite a long time on their last possession, but were unable to do anything for it.
Theismann and company on the field. Notre Dame has gone with its first unit, has not made a great many replacements in the game. And Theismann has the ball, hands off to Allen. Here he comes around the near side, being chased and knocked down at the 21-yard line by Jimmy Early. Johnny Sage took 3 blockers out of the play as a power sweep was developing to the right side. Second down, 9. Notre Dame at the Irish 21-yard line, and time is out of the third quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score, LSU nothing, Notre Dame nothing.
Now there are 5 locations for banking at Citizens Bank and Trust Company. There's the main office, 203 West 2nd Street in Thibodaux. There's the city branch on the Lambertville Highway and Hickory Street in Thibodaux. There's the Cutoff branch in Cutoff and the Galliano branch in Galliano. And now there's number 5, the Citizens Bank and Trust Company Check Bay branch. Yes, 5 banking locations to serve you from Citizens Bank and Trust Company, a full-service bank. And at all locations, there's plenty of free parking. And in addition, there's drive-up window service at all the Citizens Bank locations. Your money is protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation at Citizens Bank and Trust Company, and you enjoy both tops in service and the utmost inconvenience. That's Citizens Bank and Trust Company, your full-service bank, now with 5 locations to serve you. Citizens Bank and Trust Company of Thibodaux, your full-service bank for Lafourche Parish.
Teams of Notre Dame and LSU could split off from the offensive teams and go to any bowl in the country and do well. Second down, 9. Notre Dame at its 21-yard line, and a draw play with Allen knocked down at the line of scrimmage, hit first by Johnny Sage, polished off by Buddy Milliken. No gain. Third down and 9. LSU's defense picking up steam all the way through the game, it appears. Pepper Rutland, who's been in, is replaced now by Richard Piku. Theismann brings the Irish up to the line of scrimmage. We have a new wide receiver in the game, number 16 for Notre Dame, who is going to be Ken Slazen. Theismann to the left, shoots a pass, intercepted by LSU. Bill Norsworthy has the ball inside the 35. Out of the hands of Bill Bars, intercepted by Norsworthy. And Northworthy is picked up off his feet by Richard Piku, and the Tigers are in a wholesale state of jubilation. First down LSU at the Notre Dame 34-yard line on Northworthy's interception. And this year that is his fourth. Bill Bars had the ball thrown to him right in his hands by the quarterback Joe Theismann. But Northworthy ends up with it. LSU first and 10 at the Notre Dame 34. Lead to Cantrell. Over left tackle. Breaks inside the 30 to about the 29. He has 5 on the play. And let's see who makes the tackle. First of all, Eric Patton slows him, and then Jim Wright makes the tackle along with Mike Cady. Second down, a long 5 to go for LSU at the Notre Dame 29-yard line. The Tigers are now in possession of their deepest penetration of this ball game, the Notre Dame 29. Walker and Cantrell behind Buddy Lee at quarterback. Here's Cantrell right up the middle and shooting through the air. He's at the 25. He jumps over the outstretched hands of Tim Kelly and right into the arms of Bob Neidert at the 25 and bumps down to the ground. Cantrell showing why he rates the number 1 position as LSU's number 1 ball carrier for 1970 so far. Third down, 1 yard to go for LSU at the Notre Dame 25-yard line. Tight formation on the right side, a wedge formation. Cantrell inside the 25 to the 24, the 23. It's going to be close for a first down, and we'll have a measurement. That ball is somewhere between the 23 and 24-yard lines as Cantrell is rammed down by Tim Kelly and Jim Wright. The chain is on the way out, and it may be close enough to be another LSU first down. If so, it'll be the 12th for the Tigers, and the chain is extended. It is first down LSU.
And a big one it was, too.
First down for LSU at the Notre Dame 23.5-yard line. Deepest penetration of the day by the Tigers. Al Coffey is wide to the left. Hamilton to the right side. LSU systematic in its offense. Hands off to Cantrell. Wide to the left. He goes shooting through the air, just flying down to the 20-yard line, and he's thrown back. His forward motion carries for about 4 yards. Tim Kelly and Patton on the tackle, along with 75 Greg Marsh. Second down, about 7.5 yards to go for a first down at the 20-yard line. Ball is outside the 20-yard line a little way. 12 minutes and a half to go in the ball game. LSU deep in Notre Dame territory with no score in the game so far. Hamilton wide to the right and Coffey to the left side. Here is Lee going back apparently to throw. Way back. He shoots a swing pass to the left to Cantrell. He has it at the 20. 2 more yards and he's out of bounds. Patton grabs him around the waist and wrestles him out of the field of play. And let's see where they put the ball in. It'll be at the 18-yard line. Third down, the Tigers at the 18 in Notre Dame territory, and about 5 yards to go for a first down. And time is going to be called out by Notre Dame. Timeout on the field with the score, LSU nothing, Notre Dame nothing. Stay fed.
Leon Knockhead & Sons, Pioneer Electrical Contractors, are proud to salute the LSU Tigers as they battle the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Leon Knockhead & Son, like the Tigers, have an outstanding record of service to the area. For years, Leon Knockhead & Son have been the leaders of the electrical contracting field as the LSU Tigers have been leaders in collegiate football. As they salute the LSU Tigers, Leon Knockhead & Son also thank the many friends that they have made over the years, which has made them number 1 in their fields. Leon Knockhead & Son, Pioneer Electrical Contractors.
12 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the ball game. The Tigers now faced with a big 3rd and 5 situation at the Notre Dame 19-yard line. We might mention that there is a brisk wind. It's still running about 12 or 14 miles an hour. But in a closed-in stadium like this, oftentimes wind currents can be tricky. Buddy Lee has had a chance to confer with the Tiger coaching staff over across the way. He's now back at the huddle. And here is one of the pivotal plays of this ball game.
It's 3rd and 5 for LSU at the Notre Dame 13-yard line. No score in the game. Coffey left, Hamilton right, high with Walker and Cantrell behind quarterback Buddy Lee. They spread in the backfield. Lee with the ball has Cantrell in motion to the right. Pitches to him. The sweep to the right. He's to the 20, the 18. He's at the 17-yard line. Doesn't make the first down. Long run, but he only gets 1 yard. Out there following Clarence Ellis of Notre Dame, Tim Kelly, Walt Patulski, and number 45, Eric Patton. The ball is at the 17-yard line. The Tigers apparently will go for 3 points as Mark Lumpkin comes in. This one will be a 34-yard attempt because he's putting the marker down at the 24-yard line. Lee will hold, slight angle left, and here is Lumpkin's try. Blocked! The ball rolls back to the 5, taken by Crotty, and he's knocked down at the 12-yard line on a return. Bob Snyder blocks the field goal try by Lumpkin, and Notre Dame has the ball first and 10 at its 12. Lumpkin has missed one and had one blocked today, and he's now 6 field goals out of 15 tries. And Notre Dame has the ball. The ball is closer to the 11, so let's move it back 1 yard to the 11-yard line. Theismann and the Irish back deep, and a handoff goes to no one. He rolls to the right. He's going to run. Theismann is in trouble back here. He's reversing field. Here he comes to the 20. Theismann at the 21-yard line and hacked up at the 21-yard line. He has maybe enough yardage for a first down. He had everybody blocking for him to the right. The Tigers had that foiled. And so finally Craig Burns chases Theismann down at the 21-yard line. Not enough for a first down. Lacks about a half yard. Second down for Theismann and the Irish. Theismann, one of the big total offense leaders in the country, has been in charge of the Notre Dame total offense, which is number 1 in the country, but having a tough time with the Tigers of LSU today. Second down, a half yard to go. Bars through the middle, picks up the first down, sort of crawling forward. Cascio makes the stop. Notre Dame has the ball first and 10 at its 23.
That's the first down Notre Dame has picked up in the second half. We've got 11:08 left to go in the ball game.
Notre Dame back in a circular huddle with Theismann calling the play. The Tigers have Fry in for Piku at linebacker. Gatewood goes to the far side. That's the right of the formation as Notre Dame is striking toward the north. Theismann on an end around, hands the ball off to Allen. He's out to the 26, has 5, and is knocked off his feet by Johnny Sage on a hard knee-type tackle at the 26-yard line. Won't get it quite 5, it appears, so he'll get about 3. Make it second down and 7 to go at the 26. Sort of a 50% type version of the Statue of Liberty play there, as Allen was coming from the wing-back formation around to the weak side, a reverse play, of course. Schlazes is off to the left side. New boy in the ball game up on the line of scrimmage. Theismann going back to throw on second and 7. Hit hard and knocked down at the 16-yard line. Way back there by Ronnie Estee. Theismann is hit very hard. They're going to place the ball back up to the 17, and it'll be third down. 16 to go for Notre Dame as the Irish are now tasting some of their own defensive rush medicine. Third down, 16. Notre Dame back at its 17-yard line. Ronnie Estee with a key tackle on the play. Freeney on the left side. 9:45 to go in the contest. No score LSU. Notre Dame at South Bend. Wide receiver on the right side is Allen. Here is Theismann going back to the 5-yard line to throw. He shoots it up the field. It is incomplete. Knocked down by Johnny Nagel, and a flag is thrown. Pass interference indicated against LSU will give Notre Dame a tremendous break in the game at the Irish 35-yard line. And so it's going to be first and 10 for Notre Dame on the penalty as the Tigers had them backed up. Nagel made a great play, but they ruled that he interfered with the receiver. Now, Notre Dame from its 35, or just short of it, pitch out, goes to number 18, and here he goes to the right side. Bob Minnick stacked up at about the line of scrimmage, the right side, on a bar carry to the right. He may get about a yard. John Wood and Arthur Davis out there with Bill Norsworthy on the tackle. The ball is at the 36. It'll be 2nd and 9 to go. Time on the clock, 9 minutes, 10 seconds. Tom Gatewood on the right side. Bob Minix on the left, and here's Seisman back to throw, looking for Creedy. He has it at the 40, the 45. Creedy at the Notre Dame 48-yard line. He's tackled by Norsworthy and Anderson. And Creedy is shaken up, has hurt his right leg, and is taken off the field. He hobbles off under his own power, replaced by John Parashuk. First down, Notre Dame on the completion to Creedy at the Notre Dame 48-yard line, and that pass interference call against the Tigers is looming pretty large in the game right now with 8:37 left to go. Now Notre Dame with Theismann off to Minix right up the middle, breaking right through to about the Tiger 47-yard line. Gains about 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Notre Dame at the LSU 47. And with the help of a long pass interference call against the Tigers, the Irish have something of a drive going. They're about at midfield. 2nd down, 6 at the LSU 47. Theismann with a strong set left, hands off to Minix through the middle. He hits into about the 45-yard line, maybe just inside it. Ronnie Estee is first to make tackle and contact on the tackle with Johnny Sage. 3rd down, Creedy back in the game for Notre Dame. Parashuk comes out after 1 play, or 2. 3rd down, about 2.5 to go for a first down for Notre Dame, just inside the Tiger 45. And here's Notre Dame with Minix carrying. Doesn't get any yardage at all. It'll be 4th down and still about 2 yards to go. And let's see. Richard Piku and Boyd Fry and Arthur Davis on the tackle. So Yoder is going to punt. 4th down, about 2 to go at the LSU 44-yard line. Yoder apparently will punt. Craig Burns and Tommy Casanova will be backing up for LSU. Now they're back at the 10-yard line. 7 minutes to go in the game as Yoder gets the snap from center. No rush on the kicker, and he kicks it. It is going out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Yoder gets a beauty away at the 1, and LSU is backed up next to its own goal line. 43 yards on the kick for Jim Yoder, a beauty. Now LSU is backed up deep at the north end at the Tiger 1-yard line. LSU has had the better of the going in the second half by far. But now the Tigers are facing an uphill battle from the 1-yard line. 6:50 remaining to be played in the game, and Bert Jones is in at quarterback. He has Alan Shorey and Chris Danton back there with him. And a moment for freewheeling. Here's a quarterback sneak for about a yard by Bert Jones. Marks and Kadish converged on Jones as he tried to split the middle. With the ball being back so deep, the Notre Dame defense can just freewheel it straight ahead. But of course, keeping in mind the ever-present threat of the strong right arm of quarterback Bert Jones. Would the Tigers throw this deep? 2nd down at the 2-yard line. The Tigers backed up at their own 2. No score in the game, 4th quarter. Here's a handoff coming in here to Danton, left side. Pulls it to the ground at the 4-yard line and latched onto him by Rick Bowman. A hard tackle. Besselman in the game now for Alexander, and Danton has turned an ankle, and we'll have a replacement in for him. Perhaps here comes Cantrell on the field. The Tigers have 3rd down at their 4. Danton hobbling off the far side, replaced by Cantrell. Left ankle for Danton, but he's off under his own power. Here's Jones now with a very tight set behind him. Hands off to Cantrell, and he goes shooting into left tackle to about the 6-yard line. And now the Tigers will be forced to punt. 4th down at the 6 and 5 yards to go. Wayne Dickinson is in the punt for LSU. He's come up with the big kicks many times. And the two receivers up around midfield are Mike Crotty and Clarence Ellis. They've come up with big return plays frequently for Notre Dame. Ellis is going to be the deeper of the two. The snap and the rush. The kick is off. A line drive that's bouncing in front of Ellis. He takes it at the LSU 44. Racked up by Kegley at the 36-yard line, and down he goes. And Notre Dame has great field position. Time running out in the game with 4:57 left to go. Two of the fine teams in the country coming right down to the wire in a great battle here at South Bend, Indiana. 4 minutes, 57 seconds left to go in the game. LSU needs the big play. Notre Dame needs the big play. Here come the Irish with Theismann at the controls. And referee goes over and replaces the ball, which was blown off the mark at the 36-yard line. Now, here we go now with a first down. Notre Dame. Theismann going back to throw, looking for Gulius down here. Incomplete. Flag thrown. Interference will be called against LSU at the 17. Jimmy Early was covering Ed Gulius on a crossover pattern. Theismann tossed him the ball, and the Tigers draw their second pass interference penalty of this game and the second of the fourth quarter. Notre Dame in field goal position now. 4:52 left to go in the game. Now the Tigers of LSU with their backs to the wall. Notre Dame has been down this deep once before in the game and fumbled at the 4. Here's Theismann making the pass and runs to the right, being chased out there by Northworthy. Gets past him, runs out of bounds inside the 15-yard line at the 13-yard line. A quarterback keeper to the right, and Theismann outmaneuvered two Tiger defenders on the play at the 13-yard line. 4:45 to go in the game. Notre Dame nothing, LSU nothing, and Notre Dame has second down. 5 to go at the LSU 13-yard line. Clock is stopped at the moment. Strong side right. Here's Theismann off to 22. Allen right through the middle, inside the 10 to the 9. Dennis Allen, an Ohio senior, bullets up the middle to the 9-yard line, and now it is third down for Notre Dame, and about a yard and 3/4 to go for a first down. Notre Dame last week beat Georgia Tech in the final moment, 10-7. And now Notre Dame, 0-0 with LSU. 4:17 to go in the game. Facing a third down and almost 2 at the Tiger 9. Here is handoff to Gulius. Inside the 9, to the 8, to the 7. He has the first down. And the signal and the cheer by the home fans here. And Notre Dame has the ball at the LSU 7-yard line. First down and goal to go. Lloyd Fry gets credit with Piku on the last tackle. 4 minutes exactly remaining to be played in the game. Uphill battle for the Tigers in the closing moments of the game here at South Bend. Tom Gatewood left with Casanova on him, and here is a handoff coming to Allen around to the left side. He makes a turn in. He's at the 6-yard line. Back to the 7. No gain from that point. The Tigers converge on him as Cascio and Milliken and Burns stop him, they say, at the line of scrimmage. Second down, goal to go at the Tigers' 7-yard line. 3 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in the ball game. 3:20 to go in the ball game. 0-0, LSU and Notre Dame here at South Bend. Notre Dame has a scoring chance from the 7. Gulius to the left side, now moves back to the top of the eye. Theismann rolling to the right, looking for Gatewood in the end zone. He shoots it. It is incomplete. Theismann threw it too low. He was under pressure from Richard Piku. Third down and goal to go from the Tigers' 7-yard line. Notre Dame with the ball. And so we have 3 minutes and 4 seconds of playing time remaining. Third down for Notre Dame at the LSU 7-yard line. And all the marbles are on the table for this game right here. Gatewood again to the right side. Theismann went to the air to him just a moment ago. Let's see if he does it again. Here's Theismann with the ball, rolling out to the right. Gatewood breaks to the end zone, and here's Theismann rush. He shoots it. Incomplete in the end zone. knocked down by Casanova, who almost intercepted it.
And Tommy's so mad with himself because had he intercepted that ball, the Tigers would have gotten the ball out of their 20. And now here comes the Notre Dame field goal kicker.
Big guy, Scott Hempel, senior from Ohio, who weighs 235, and field goal tries this year is 3 out of 4. And so he'll kick this one at a slight angle to the left from the 14-yard line, making it a 24-yard try. The Tigers must try to block it. Here is the snap. The Theismann, the ball is down. He boots it. It's in the air. It is good. Notre Dame leads LSU 3-0. With 2 minutes, 54 seconds left to go in the ball game. Timeout on the field. The score, Irish 3, Tigers 0.
You know, there are a lot of things we take for granted. If we stopped just once and looked around, maybe we might be surprised. Take banking, for example. Most of us are so busy these days that, well, we may miss many of the services provided by modern banking. Citizens Bank and Trust Company would like to take just a moment with you to reflect on some of the things which maybe you've missed. Walk into any of the 5 Citizens Bank and Trust Company locations, you're greeted with a smile. You're treated to beautiful modern surroundings, decors that blend themselves to your complete comfort. Yes, these are just a few of the things that maybe you've missed while doing your banking. But they're never missing at any of the 5 Citizens Bank and Trust Company locations. Why not stop in today and see just what we mean? Citizens Bank and Trust Company with 5 offices to serve you. There's one near you.
Piled up at the 19. 2 minutes, 47 seconds left to go in the game. Jim Mazurka makes the tackle for the Irish at the 19, and it's first down and 10 yards to go for the LSU Tigers at their 19-yard line. And so Jim Yoder's kick back to the 1-yard line and out of bounds put the Tigers deep in their own territory, and they were not able to deprive the Irish of field position, which led to a 24-yard field goal. And it's first and 10 LSU at the Tigers 19. Bert Jones at quarterback behind Jobert. Jones going back to throw. The Tigers have no other choice. Long one down there to Coffey. Way down there, Coffey. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Jones threw it a country mile, 60 yards in the air. And it's incomplete. Coffey was behind 3 Irish defenders. Well, he has the speed, and the Tigers must go to him. Second down at 10. LSU back at its 19. Clarence Ellis knocks the ball down. 2:39 to go in the ball game. Notre Dame eking ahead 3-0 over LSU in the fourth quarter. With 2:54 remaining is when the kick was made. We now have 2:39 left. Jones again with the football. As it snapped back to him now, he rolls back to pass. Has time, shoots it up the field. Incomplete. Intended for Hamilton, who was knocked down at the 30-yard line. Rick Bowman is the man who had closest chance on the ball after Hamilton was down on the floor of the stadium. So third down and 10 LSU at the Tiger 19-yard line. Big play necessary for the Tigers on this run right here. 2:33 left to go in the game. What a contest it's been. First meeting by LSU and Notre Dame. And the only one of the current Southeastern Conference teams ever to play Notre Dame. Here is a third and 10 play from the 19. Jones back to throw. He's looking. He shoots it up the field. Incomplete. And we now have fourth down and 10. Now the Tigers must decide whether they'll try for 10 yards or try to get the ball away on a punt. And Dickinson is in the ball game, apparently to kick. Jobert goes out. Ronnie Estee does the snapping back on punt. Fourth down and 10. LSU at its 19-yard line. Dickinson standing back at his 5, waiting for the football. The Irish don't believe it. They don't believe that he'll kick it. And Dickinson does kick it. Nice spiral, his best kick of the day. It's going past midfield. Bouncing and not returned by Notre Dame all the way down to the Irish 36-yard line. The 37. So from that point, After a kick of just a little shy of 45 yards, Notre Dame has the ball, first down and 10.
2 minutes and 16 seconds. I don't think the Irish will do anything here, so the Tigers may still get another chance.
Now the Tiger defense must get the ball back if possible, and Notre Dame must keep going with a first down if possible. Here's Theismann, weak side, bootleg, out to the 38-yard line, and he's bottled at the 38 by Buddy Milliken. And the stoppers put on him right there. Second down, they're giving him 2 yards up to the 39. 8 yards to go for Notre Dame, and time is called out by LSU. Timeout on the field with the score, Notre Dame 3, LSU nothing.
Leon Knockhead & Sons, Pioneer Electrical Contractors, are proud to salute the LSU Tigers as they battle the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Leon Knockhead & Son, like the Tigers, have an outstanding record of service to the area. For years, Leon Knockhead & Son have been the leaders in the electrical contracting field, as the LSU Tigers have been leaders in the collegiate football field. As they salute the LSU Tigers, Leon Knockhead & Son also thank the many friends they have made over the years, which has made them number one in their fields. Leon Knockhead & Son, Pioneer Electrical Contractors.
The man who wears a Texaco. 1 minute and 55 seconds left to go in the ball game. Notre Dame has the football on their own 39-yard line with a second down and 8 situation.
Weisman has the Irish ready to go. Gatewood is to the left, and Denny Allen is to the right side. And Notre Dame is offside, moving prematurely, and so we'll probably have a 5-yard penalty against the Irish. 1:54 left to go in the ball game. Notre Dame 3 and LSU nothing is the score. LSU still has 2 games remaining on its schedule against Tulane in New Orleans next Saturday night, and then the following Saturday evening in Baton Rouge, a late game against Ole Miss. And second down after a 5-yard penalty. Now 13 to go. Theismann going back to throw. Shoots it to Allen. Complete at the 42-yard line. Denny Allen receives and is knocked down immediately by Johnny Nagel. Timeout again called by LSU with 1:46 left to go in the game. Third down, Notre Dame, and 5 yards to go for a first down. Theismann weighs 170 pounds and is not all that big a young man, but he has a tremendous record, completing 63% of his passes. There's a timeout in the field with the score Notre Dame 3 and LSU nothing.
Now there are 5. Yes, now there are 5 locations for banking at Citizens Bank and Trust Company. There's the main office, 203 West 2nd Street in Thibodaux. There's the city branch on the Lambertville Highway and Hickory Street in Thibodaux. There's the Cutoff branch in Cutoff and the Galliano branch in Galliano. And now there's number 5, the Citizens Bank and Trust Company Check Bay branch. Yes, 5 banking locations to serve you from Citizens Bank and Trust Company, a full-service bank. And at all locations, there's plenty of free parking. And in addition, there's drive-up window service at all the Citizens Bank locations. Your money is protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation at Citizens Bank and Trust Company. And you enjoy both tops in service and the utmost inconvenience. That's Citizens Bank and Trust Company, your full-service bank, now with 5 locations to serve you. Citizens Bank and Trust Company of Thibodaux, your full-service bank for Lafourche Parish.
Notre Dame 3, LSU nothing as Theismann threads through the Tiger defense after getting it fluid and thinking of the pass. Theismann runs around the weak side, the offensive left. First down at the LSU 32-yard line. Notre Dame with the ball. Moving from its 37, and here's Theismann off to Gulius, left guard. He gets maybe a yard, maybe a yard and a half on the play. And that's Mike Anderson in the gap to make the tackle for LSU with Ronnie Estee. 1 yard, they say, and it's second down and 9 to go at the LSU 31-yard line. Big play for Notre Dame, probably to ice the contest, as the Tigers really needed to stop the Irish on that preceding play. A third down play it was. Gulius to the right side. Second down, 9 to go at the LSU 31. Theismann off to Allen. Wide sweep to the right side. Chased by Fry. Racked up by Fry at the LSU 28. And he gets free on the play, and so there will be a gain in 2 plays of about 4 yards. Timeout is called again by the LSU Tigers with 31 seconds left to go in the game. LSU wants one more chance, but the Tigers are a long way from Tipperary, back at their own 28-yard line as Notre Dame leads by a score of 3-0.
A 24-yard field goal with 2:54 left in the ball game. Of course, what set it up was Notre Dame punter Yoder puts the ball out of the LSU 1. The Tigers had to fight for little field position, and as a result of a short kick, Notre Dame got it at the Tiger 36, moved down to the 7, and on 4th down, Hempel kicked his 24-yard field goal. Theismann, who's quarterbacked all the way for Notre Dame, has completed 14 of 30 passes for 159 yards. On the ground, the Irish have rushed for 84. LSU, meanwhile, has rushed for an even 100 yards, and the Tiger passers, Lee and Jones, have completed 6 of 16 for 82 yards. As far as first downs are concerned, Notre Dame 15-12 for LSU.
And Notre Dame has third down. About 6 yards to go for the first down at the LSU 28-yard line. 31 seconds left to go in the game. Gatewood left and Gulius right. As Theismann sets the Irish for a third down and 6 play and rolls off to the left, he'll keep the ball. Here he comes. He's at the 29 and is down at the 29-yard line, spun away by Johnny Wood. That's the same type of action he got away on a few moments ago to put the Tigers deep in their own territory. 16 seconds left to go in the game, and again, LSU takes advantage of a timeout remaining and stops the clock with 14 seconds left to go in the contest. No more timeouts for LSU.
Well, this will be interesting to see what Notre Dame will do here, whether Parsegian will allow Theismann to try to run around with the ball and eat as much time up as possible before giving it over to the Tigers, or will he go for the kick? They have the wind advantage, but a field goal here would not mean too much for Notre Dame. They've got a 3-point lead. Obviously, the Tigers, if they can get a chance to get their hands on the football, will go for the 7 points. So this is a big play. It's with only 14 seconds left to go in the ball game, and Notre Dame hanging on to a 3-point lead.
4th down, Notre Dame at the LSU 29, 7 yards to go for a first down, and Theismann faced with the problem of running out the clock with 14 seconds left. He hands off to Allen. Here comes Allen. Allen is down and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. The clock stops with 8 seconds left. LSU will take over. Lloyd Fry wrestled him out of the field of play as Allen tried to stop inbounds. And I wouldn't know why they would want to run a wide play there and run to the sideline. That would not fit in with normal football strategy. So the LSU Tigers have a chance here, ever so fleeting, from the Tigers 31, and Bert Jones is in the game. Coffey is wide to the left and double covered. Hamilton is out to the left also, and Jones with 8 seconds left. The Tigers trailing 0-3 is back to throw. He is being chased down. He won't get it away. Knocked down way back at the 14-yard line, and the ball game is over. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish beat the Tigers of LSU by 3-0. Well, the Irish have straddled and covered successfully a big hurdle here today with a very scrappy LSU Tiger football team, which played the Fighting Irish on even terms throughout the contest. And it was a 24-yard field goal by Scott Hempel with 2:54 remaining that provided the difference. And the LSU Tigers have sustained their second loss of the year, and Notre Dame, with 1 game left against Southern California, remains unbeaten and one of the nation's top teams. The LSU Tigers probably will not have any of their luster on the season diminished or tarnished in any way because of the effort here today. It's been an outstanding attraction for college football. Walter Hill will have the final summary in a minute. Again, the final score, Notre Dame 3, LSU nothing.
Leon Knockett and Sons, Pioneer Electrical Contractors, are proud to salute the LSU Tigers as they battled the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Leon Knockett and Son, like the Tigers, have an outstanding record of service to the area. For years, Leon Knockett and Son have been the leaders of the electrical contracting field, as the LSU Tigers have been leaders in collegiate football. As they salute the LSU Tigers, Leon Knockett and Son also thank the many friends they have made over the years, which have made them #1 in their fields. Leon and Knockett and Son, Electrical Contractors.
You can trust the best products, you can trust the technical. You can trust your car to the man who wears the car, the big, bright technical star.
You're in tune to KTIB-FM, Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Well, it's all over, and Notre Dame wins it by a score of 3-0, the first time these teams have ever played. They will play again next year at Tiger Stadium. It was a tremendous defensive battle that waged its way all the way down to the final stages of the ball game, when Scott Hempel kicked a 24-yard field goal with just 2:54 left to go in the ball game. It was set up when Jim Yoder punted on 4th down and got the ball out at the LSU 1. The Tigers had to use 3 downs to get out to the 6. They punted out to the Notre Dame 36. The Fighting Irish moved it down to the LSU 7, and on 4th down, Hempel got his 24-yard field goal. Statistically, the Tigers did a tremendous job defensively against Notre Dame this afternoon. Unofficially, we have the Fighting Irish gaining 81 yards on the ground. In the air, Theismann completed 14 of 30 passes for 159. On the ground, LSU gained 87 yards, and through the air, the Tigers were 6 for 16 for 82 yards. First downs, Notre Dame got 15, LSU 12. Next week, the Tigers play in New Orleans against Tulane. Kickoff time there at 7:30. Notre Dame goes to the West Coast to play Southern California University. So it was a great battle for the Tigers. They held Notre Dame at bay for much of the ball game, but a 24-yard field goal with less than 3 minutes to go won it for the Fighting Irish. They remain undefeated, and the band has formed the giant numeral #1 now facing the near sideline. The Tigers will leave as soon as they get dressed. They should be back in Baton Rouge in about 2.5 or maybe 3 hours. Check with the airport there. We believe that they certainly deserve a rousing ovation and a great welcome by the people of Baton Rouge. Once again, the final score, Notre Dame 3, LSU 0. For John Ferguson, this is Walter Hill saying good afternoon from Notre Dame Stadium, South Bend, Indiana. This is the LSU Football Network.